Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Hey folks, Dude here, coming to you yet again, another iteration of Dude After Dark. This one's going to be kind of a oddball arrangement, and I gotta say this one is really kind of off the cuff. So you notice right now the video is kind of and the audio is really how would I say it without saying it, except for simply just to say it probably sounds a little bit like no dude, no, it sounds, yeah, it just sounds, yeah, really very yeah. Donnie's in the room. Appreciate you coming by, hanging out tonight. This one, of course, going to be one of my impromptu sessions. Like I said in the previous video, which was really just a test video. Putting it up there and trying to make sure stuff worked. And I'll move out smartly, and hopefully things are just going to be approachable. Hey, Drew Fever, appreciate you coming in the room, sir. So this one, of course, me jacking around and trying to make stuff work. And I'm kind of doing it quite impromptu. I'm actually using my laptop, and I'm using my mobile Wi-Fi hub, courtesy of Verizon versus Comcast. And Comcast, you are going to get more than a little bit of yeah, no, it's going to be more like, yeah, it's just yeah, those jerk offs are not doing good things, and they're screwing up the process. And I have had my internet drop out so many bloody damn times. I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. Call in and there, yes, hello, can I help you? My name is Eric. Can you send any other thing? It's like, first off, dude, you're not an American national. Second off, I sincerely doubt your name is Eric. Third off, put me in with a native English speaker because I can't understand you. Oh, I was pissed. I was pissed. Sir, please calm down. And at that point, you know what? If I'm already cheesed and you're telling me to calm down, you've just earned yourself a serious case. You're going to get some very feisty Marine style talking to. And I pretty much told him in no uncertain terms,
blow it out your ass.
Oh, I let him have it. More than I really probably should have, but I was mad, quite angry, and I was ready to simply tell him I'm done with you. And I really am pretty much done with Comcast at this point. Yeah, yeah, it's just every time, anytime you contact any of these cable guys, yeah, to try to get a hold of a live person is right up there with yeah, okay, yeah, it's really close to, very close to. Yeah, you're just not gonna get any no, there's gonna be no snoo to be had if you're dealing with any cable entity, because they see you as pretty much you're on auto pay. We don't need to give you any good service. Just go yourself. No, that was not what I was looking there, sound guy. That was not what I was looking for. They say pretty much cuck yourself. And that's being nice, because those bunch of those it is just, that's literally the entire phone call is you're just going because they know they got you by the no, I was going to say something else there, sound guy. They have you by the
I've got balls of steel.
No. They don't have you by the balls of steel. Well, they get you by the balls, but they don't have you by the balls of steel per se. Sasquatch, Chain of Sasquatch, coming to the room. Appreciate it. I didn't get the critical stop to Eric. Oh man, don't get him started. Yeah, the calling. Hello, how can I help you? My name is Eric. Yeah, most definitely. Oh, really? Really? Oh, it's Coyote Fall and then the critical stop. Oh, thank you so much. All right. Well, today's beverage is going to be, yes, I've cracked out the Pepsi with sugar. Yeah, I feel like drinking some soda for a change. Don't really drink it a whole hell of a lot anymore, but every once in a while, I'll get a sleeve of soda and I'll just start, sucking them down. And then after that, I'm done for a while. And then I got to get some more, and then I'm done for a while. So anyway, that's where we are technologically enabled. Just give me, I'm banging stuff. Sorry. All right, kind of doing stuff impromptu. That's kind of why things are kind of, not 100%, but times companions, I commend it to you. Probably should have cooled it down first. It's like room temperature, but it's not undrinkable. All right, this whole woke thing, some of that stuff just really doesn't translate to other cultures. So much that you could say that pretty much some of the manly men in other cultures, they doing it, dude. They're really not doing it. But even just, the group of guys that really you should never, ever try to stuff upon would probably be one of the manliest of all sports would be probably rugby. So 7 players from the Manly Rugby League Club in Sydney, Australia, are threatening to boycott their upcoming match, according to ABC News Australia. The boycott was sparked by team rules requiring them to wear a gay pride jersey. The players said they are threatening to boycott based on cultural and religious reasons. I would tend to think those guys who are pretty much the manly men who actually do play rugby would be looking at the guys who are saying, oh, no, you've got to wear this stuff. And they'll tell them in no uncertain terms,
You're despicable.
Yeah, but they're just not going to do it, okay? Very simply put, they are just not that kind of guy, not that kind of people. And
Oh, my.
you're not going to curry favor with these guys by saying, you've got to wear these things. No, it's not going to happen, okay? It's just, it's not going to happen. So it could be said that pretty much, it's going to be a case of them saying, well, you guys better do this or else. And they're going to say, well, we don't have to because, well,
You asshole.
we're not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. All right. Anyway, so the guys who are playing rugby ain't playing it. Deliverance at the board on the board at a rugby game. Yeah, that's pretty much it, dude. So these guys pretty much just told them in no uncertain terms, look, mate, we ain't gonna do that. So go ahead and stuff it up your ass or stuff it up your arse. Scroll. This one cracked me up, and this is exactly emblematic of how twisted up the Democrat Party is right now with this whole Trump derangement system, and everything can circle back, put a pin in it, circle back to everything that is the malady of the United States currently is because Donald Trump was president for one term. Just give me 1 second here. It's gotten so bad, those guys on the left want to change the phrase, how do I say this without saying this? Okay, monkey. Okay, monkey pop. That's how we'll get around it. They want to change the phrase monkey pop into another phrase because, well, it seems to be grossly affecting the gay community more than it's ever affecting the straight community. And they're saying distinctly this. They're saying it's got to be changed from being I think something was happening to that monkey and it was not permitted. Yeah. Anyway, they want to change it because, well, they want to say it's something not gay or it was not of racial persuasion, and it was simply one of those things. They want to change it up and they want to now call it Trump was mean pox. Chimp pox. Chimp pox. Okay. Pedro Rivera says the chimp got a happy ending. Oh, jeez.
Come on, squeal, squeal.
Oh no. Okay, that may have been a happy ending for the redneck. That was not a happy ending for the monkey. That monkey was saying, I really got to think about new things about, life in general. And this was not a good encounter. Wow. Did you make a bronze bull in monkey form? I don't get it, Martina Sasquatch. I don't get that one. Bronze bull in monkey form. Those people who would have false idols, kind of like one of those deals. Okay, yeah. Should I have no graven image before me? Yeah, that type of stuff. Yeah. This one is making me snicker, and in a most snarky way, might I say. I'm snickering in a most unsnarky way, so I can be saying, self, I'm being
Self.
I'm saying to myself, sound guy, stop, okay? Sound guy. All right. Anyway, he's doing that whole Terminator thing again every once in a while. You'd least expect it with him, but
Saracana.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Anyway, so Meta.
Saracana.
No, stop. Okay. I think it's safe to say we're not talking about the Terminator right now. We're talking about Meta, very like Facebook's $1 billion plus exploitation of online stupidity to say that there's going to be a virtual neighborhood that everybody wants to really have a part of, and just stop that. We're gonna get a copyright hit. Stop that, okay? Stop. No THX deep note. Stop, okay? Meta, no Terminator stuff either. Stop that, okay?
Saracana.
Yes.
Reload.
You are.
I think she's dead enough there, sound guy. Stop. Stop. Okay, anyway, so this $1 billion boondoggle plus, who knows how much more money they've thrown at this thing to try to make it work. But it was Zuckerberg's attempt to make a virtual neighborhood that everybody would be buying into and own, unquote, virtual property. Martina Sasquatch says, "There's a way to kill a man with the sound effects of a bull, ancient Greece." Okay, well, all right. I don't have a bull. No bulls. Okay, sorry. But let's see here. So Meta now says they will stop paying U.S. publishers to put their content into Facebook's news tab. Interesting. The 3-year experiment, quote unquote, is over as Facebook and IG shift focus again. This one's coming in from The Verge. Hardly a right-wing piece of news sourcing. Well, anyway, so they basically threw all this cash at it trying to make this thing work, and it really just didn't go. So, reading into this article, as you probably heard, Facebook and Instagram will lean heavily into AI curated creator content going forward. And the News tab project Facebook launched a few years ago doesn't seem to be a big part of that. As reported on Axios and confirming earlier rumors, Facebook's parent company, Meta, of which it's just a blanking joke, is telling publishers they'll no longer plans to pay for content as it's been aggregating in the News tab. According to the report, Meta spent about 105 million in a 3-year contract deal for news, plus another 90 million for news videos, including 10 million for the Wall Street Journal, 20 million for New York Times, and 3 million to CNN, in arrangements that sometimes included unlocked access to paywalled content. The Wall Street Journal previously reported the rise of regulation forcing Facebook and other internet giants to pay for the news caused by the company's waning enthusiasm, and cited a source today saying the paid news push was, quote, an experiment that ultimately didn't pay off. I don't know about you guys, but the last damn thing I'm going to do, excuse me, I need a sound effect here. But the last damn thing is I'm going to go to Facebook and want to get news for them and say, yes, these guys know what they're talking about. It's going to be completely on board, and they're never going to cock with the content. Most especially when you're talking about something along the lines of, oh, you know it. Just, you know that they're going to be, oh, sorry, you can't read that as it sits because we think it's not exactly set into the right side of the aisle and makes our guys look bad. You.
I'm juggling thunder.
Yeah, just. If there was ever a time where we needed that line from Blade 3, oh, you.
I'm juggling thunder.
Yeah, just. Uck. These guys. While the news tab itself will remain, you can read about how it works right here, hypertext. The overall initiative follows podcast, Nobi Cryptocurrency, the campus reboot of the classic Facebook, and House Party clone Bonfire as projects that came and went in the last few years. Translation, this thing was the biggest boondoggle that, well, Zuckerberg ever could stick his pecker into, and he got his pee-pee slapped. Oh, I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly there's a slight problem in San Francisco, and it's concerning apparently gay monkeys in San Fran are now having issues with being affected with human pox. Yeah, San Fran is now declared an emergency about. That's right. San Francisco declares a state of emergency over. That's right, monkeypox. They are now concerned about monkeypox. So San Francisco on Thursday declared a state of emergency over monkeypox. The mayor of San Francisco declared a state of emergency after the city reported 261 cases of. So I think maybe there was a little bit more than somewhat of
Come on, squeal.
Yeah, so they say that there's a problem now in San Francisco. The emergency declaration will take effect on Monday. The San Francisco Gate reported legal state of emergency Thursday over the growing number of monkeypox cases, allowing officials to mobilize personnel resources to cut through the red tape to get ahead of the public health crisis reminiscent of the AIDS epidemic that devastated the city. Let's be completely honest here. The AIDS epidemic that decimated and did such damage to San Francisco was not in the straight community. Same can be said with this monkey pops thing going on. It has been almost expressly a problem among the gay community. There's been a couple children who've been affected because they've come in close contact with persons who may be switch hitters. But let's just say the long, hard march to the leftist agenda of just, nullifying any form of personal responsibility for any kind of bad behavior. Okay, sound guy, was that the march to homosexual agenda, or was that just saying these guys are a problem here? Wait, so the declaration takes effect Monday, was welcomed by gay advocates. Oh, did I call that one? Oops. Who've gone increasingly frustrated by what they call San Francisco's lackluster response to a virus that has so far affected primarily men who have sex with men. I think that would be gay. Although anyone can get infected. Yeah, if they're doing the wrong thing with the wrong guy, because it seems like pretty much it's like kind of like just no, sound guy. No, it's not monkey feces. It's
come on, squeal, squeal. Squeal, squeal.
I think that's what's going on. Is there's not monkey feces. It's not. It is not monkey feces. I think there's some guys who are. Yeah, I think there might be more than a little bit of those guys kind of getting together and well, enjoying each other's company, shall we say? There's no other way to say it except for what. Well, they're obviously hanging out with each other, and there's little bit of oh no. Yeah, there might be more than a little bit of that, but you are talking the San Francisco variety, so it might be more than a little bit like okay, I think possibly there may have been more than a little bit of getting together and enjoying each other's companies and it is not monkey feces. Stop. It's not monkey feces, okay? Those guys are men at work at the land down under. Okay. I think that's about as clean as sound guy could put it without being like overtly or just
come on, squeal, squeal.
All right. I don't know about the deliverance thing, but there's definitely more than a little bit of going on. So the Center of Disease Control Prevention, CDC, confirmed on Friday the first two U.S. cases of monkey pops in children, both adjacent to the gay community. Yeah. In the statement, the agency said both cases were likely a result of household transmission and had no contact with each other. Yeah. I don't even want to get into that whole crossover to how little kids are getting it, but just ew. Okay. There's no other way to say it other than just, ew. Just ew. Okay. Just ew. Yuck. Just, just yuck. Just
Ew.
Yuck.
Ew.
Okay, I don't even know where you were going with that one, sound guy, but sure. Okay, so San Fran's declaring emergency over, situational situation in which we find ourselves. I don't know if you guys heard about this one, but there has now been like so many additions, iterations, rewrites, redos, cleanups, redos, and just Okay, that was obviously a leftist losing his stuff. And obviously, we're just talking about Dookie. Okay, I was looking at what somebody was saying in the room there. So anyway, what it is now is Wikipedia is trying to save Joe Caca's bacon, okay? And they're really been overt about it too. They're like, we must save Joe Caca because Joe Caca is looking like okay, well, yeah, he's looking like Well, you gonna let me take a sip first? Thank you. Anyway, so Wikipedia is now carrying the water for thanks, sound guy. All right, so they're carrying the water for Joe Caca. Read like President Caca because he's just. Are you done? He might be done in a moment. So anyway, Wikipedia has basically been carrying the water for Joe Caca, and they keep doing these edits. And then when somebody re-edits the definition of the word recession, they would go back in there and they would tweak it, tune it, and bring it back to its original state. Finally got to the point where they're just sickened by it and they just locked the definition. But anyway, Wikipedia has just changed the definition of recession to reflect the stance and the words of the Biden administration. They then blocked any edits and blocked anyone who ever posted one. I don't know why anybody would ever use them for information from this point forward because they lie and support lies. Wikipedia is not a dictionary. It is a news source of viewpoints rather than a true definitive source of the truest extent therein of describing something of what it is. Okay? So don't trust Wikipedia, okay? Always second source your information. And it's sketch. It really, truly is just sketch. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly, the assault weapon ban, if it passes, said it, I am going to be, putting in my ass chomping teeth. And there's going to be, it's going to be, it is not going to be pretty. Because when people realize how much of an overreach this is, especially with the Supreme Court stating the Second Amendment is the Second Amendment, and there's no other way around it. These guys in Congress and Senate, if they vote for this stuff and it goes through, the voting public is going to be so pissed off. All those guys in Congress and Senate are going to be saying,
"It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up."
Yeah, it could be said that anybody that actually is on the Republican side of things and they're voting for the assault weapon ban. Oh, they are nothing but more than a little bit of save it for Joe, okay? But yes, they have attained caca status, all right? Because those guys falling in lockstep. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to happen to them. Pretty much the voting bloc is going to say, look, we bought these things. We're not giving these things up. And are you done? Logan, appreciate you coming to the room, dude. I didn't see you in the room there earlier, but I appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us. Good stuff like that there. But yeah, there's been a number of Republicans who crossed over the aisles, and they voted alongside the Democrats to basically step on everybody's rights in terms of the Second Amendment and ban, quote unquote, assault weapons. If you could define it and you could say what it is, truly, it'd be something different than what you think it is, because a semi-automatic firearm is old tech. It's been around over 100 years. It's nothing new. And because something I've really noticed is kind of strange. I don't know if you guys have really noticed this as well, but you ever notice whenever there's a Democrat in office, all these guys seem to come out of the woodwork and do all these vicious crimes? You really don't see it much when you see a Republican in major offices. I don't know why that is, but they're playing the games, and they're riling these guys up on the, the ethers and saying, hey, here's the perfect time to be crazy because we want to ban these things. Speaking of playing games, I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but let's give me 1 second here. This one coming in from conservativefighters.com. Big Democrat and Republican names join together and form a third political party. And no, they don't call themselves Ross Perot, but for all intents and purposes, they probably should. So, more than a dozen former Republican, read Rhino, screaming Mimiite dirtbags, and Democrat officials, read like people who couldn't win to save their asses, have joined hands in creating a third political party in the United States. Party leaders announced Wednesday. Andrew Yang, who lost his ass trying to run for president, basically got washed out, made to look like a total piece of sound guys, save it for Joe. So anyway, Andrew Yang, the 2020 Democrat presidential candidate and former Republican New Jersey governor, Christine Todd Whitman, just extremely... Okay, I'll allow that. But extremely large piles of Democrat, liberal... We need something else so he doesn't get stuck on this one, okay? Will be co-chairing the new party known as Forward, Reuters reported. Founded by the merger of three political organizations, the Renew American Movement, the Forward Party, and Serve American Movement, Forward positions itself as an alternative to the two-party U.S. political system. Translation, they say they're moderates and they're centrists and they're independents. They are nothing of the sort. Quote, we are uniting from across the political spectrum to create the launchpad for a transformational American political party under one name, Forward, the organization said in a news release announcing the merger. Yeah, the Renew America movement was formed in 2021 by former members of the Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, and Donald Trump administrations, Reuters reported. Okay, let's get this right. In every administration, you are going to have a center to left, if not a full-on leftard, even in a Republican get-together. And I'll tell you what, 41 and 43, so George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, both those guys, I thought sucked. Both of them were a bunch of warmongering a-holes who were feeding the military-industrial complex and bringing us into more and more fights than we ever really truly needed to be in. Oh, be aware we had those weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Did we ever find them? No. Did we go to another dirtbag place we didn't need to stick our snoot into? Yes. All these things coming about because the military-industrial complex wasn't making enough money. Spending our bodies into a place where nobody likes us is not advantageous. Those two assholes, father and son, I hope dearly one is shoveling crap uphill that's falling into the face of the other, and they're switching positions in one of Dante's Lower Infernos because they deserve that fate. The Serve America Movement is an organization comprising Democrats, Republicans, and independents led by former Republican Congressman David Jolly. Don't know the name, but I'm sure he's a total dirtbag. As its executive director, according to the Wire service, Forward, quote, will be the political home for a majority of Americans who want to move past the era of divisiveness and do-nothing politicians so that our government starts working together again. The party leadership said, according to the news release. This is the same old from the same old guys doing nothing different except simply saying, oh, the government can just fix everything. When we all know the best way to fix anything in the United States is for the government to get the bleep out of the way. This party will look and feel different. Forward celebrates diverse viewpoints and creativity, works to truly improve communities, and focuses on uniting people around common sense solutions. Okay, any of those words are buzzwords for leftard policy that flat out sucks. There is no way around it other than simply say for what it is. I got to cut the sound off here. I got friends calling me. So leftard policies and all this other stuff that nobody really truly needs in their lives, except for this is an invasive tax grab, legislative happy group of professional politicians that nobody should forward their opportunities to do these things to you, me, and everybody else in the United States. So here's the rest of the other shoe to drop of these buttholes. Forwards pledge to work towards, quote, a culture that celebrates difference and individual choice, rejects hate, removes barriers, reinvigorating a fair, flourishing economy, an open society where everyone can live a good life and safe in the places where we learn, work, and live, and reforming our republic to give Americans more choices in elections, more confidence in the government works, and more say in our future. Okay, the only word in that entire statement I support is republic. Every other part of that reads like some happy little festival of leftard BSism, of which I cannot state how deeply I distrust anybody of those speakers of any of those groups to say or do anything that's going to forward our nation to be having a less intrusive federal government, shrunk in size with less tax grab on all of us. I don't trust them in the slightest. Oh, jeez. Patriot Fever. The more Sound Guy plays the Nazi March, the more I want to wear a fedora and leather jacket in the next. Let's see. In the next. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Patriot Fever. Orwell is shaking his head in his grave. Most definitely. Well, here's the thing, Patriot Fever. That's not really a Nazi march. Spielberg wanted something that sounded very Germanic, very patriotic, and used that march. But that march is not a Nazi march. That march actually dates previous to the Nazis, previous to, the president of the Weimar Republic, Hindenburg. It's actually a very patriotic march from previous to that, which is why he didn't mind using it. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys caught up on this one or not, but there was a video posted up of Joe Kaka doing his little spiel, and it's like this disjointed thing where it's kind of switching around. The lighting's different. Nothing looks right about it. And if you look at Joe Kaka, he looks like two different people. The eyes are different. The nose looks weird. The hairline is different. The head shape is different. The ears are different. The teeth are different. And something does not look right. It looks like it's a body double falling in. And even the voice doesn't sound right. The voice sounds different. The approach sounds different. The body language is completely different. And the face looks close, but not quite. Looks like a body double filling in for him for the parts where he was crashing and burning. This whole thing about China threatening Pelosi's trip to Taiwan, I had a very simple statement on how to handle this. This is really, really easy to fix. You park 3 nuclear submarines offshore in the China Sea, and you tell the guys in the CCCP, mess with us or her, do it, and you die 15 minutes later, and most of your nation will glow at night. Then we're going to completely seriously ruin your day by making sure that all your population centers are completely unlivable, and you might get back at us, but your country will be utterly ruined. Don't threaten us ever again. That's how you handle the Chinese. Is you tell them, that's nice, don't even think about it. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. This one coming in from PatriotAlerts.com. But if all things, you want to move into some place where there's plenty of room, you're going to move into this guy's head. There's a lot of square footage where there's nothing going on. That's right, because Joe Kaka has a bad case of
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
again. Did he get all of his?
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
And that sound effect at the end of that sound bite is the 44 Magnum shot. So we didn't know if he got all of the 44 Magnum shots associated with the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. But Joe Kaka tests positive for
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
again and returns to isolation. So tested positive Again, on Saturday morning, the president's physician said, how convenient is it that he keeps getting sick with this stuff and nobody thinks that he's really full of yet? Or their whole administration is full of yet. So Kevin O'Connor, the White House physician, said in a letter that it's a rare, quote-unquote, rebound case that's usually observed in a small percentage of patients treated with Paxlovid. Biden has experienced no reemergence of symptoms and, quote, continues to feel well, O'Connor said in the letter. However, the president was returned to isolation because he's got a bad case of Paxlovid is recommended by the CDC for early stage treatment, mild to moderate, among high risk patients, because his ass is king old. The rebound has been reported to occur between 2 to 8 days after initial recovery and is characterized by a reoccurrence of symptoms or a new positive viral test after being tested negative. Dude, if you're getting stuck with a whole bunch of it ain't fixing you, okay? You can catch in both arms all over the place until you're a tattered bloody mass. You can get all of the just to the point where your body is just full of all the various forms of antiviral agents, and it ain't gonna stop nothing because, you're gonna get it, dude, okay? Because when you get right down to it, those little boogers are just ricocheting all over the place. Anyway, so it can be said that, these guys are just the Chinese Communist covert viral infection is just it's not like you just walk in a room and magically are you done? Yeah. Star Wars shootout, Patriot Fever. No, I think what it is they were in the trash compactor and you didn't realize it was sealed. Would you stop? All right. Anyway, so he tested positive for the Chinese Communist covert viral infection. New York Governor Hochul or whatever her name is, she looks like a Star Trek alien. Just she's just stern looking, dude. No. So Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency over the continued spread of monkeypox. He said the emergency declaration lead to a certain response and better. Hang on a second, I gotta find the appropriate one here so I don't say the wrong sound. So the appropriate amount of status. I'm declaring the state disaster emergency to strengthen our ongoing efforts to confront the monkeypox outbreak, Hochul said Friday. Indicated state is emergency center of the virus, which manifests as a symptom of rashes and lesions across the body, extremities, and genitals. Dude, what kind of stuff are those guys doing when they ew. Woo. Yuck. Going back to this other previous story, this one is, we know how corporate America works. When they have a downturn, what's the first thing they do? Well, they start S-canning all the employees. Excuse me 1 second here. Herr Zuckerberg has announced They're going to announce mass layoffs after, quote, one of the worst downturns. Could it be maybe that many people are really dealing with Facebook anymore? Yeah, due to the horrible financial conditions under the Biden administration, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg is reportedly laying the groundwork for mass layoffs at Meta. Managers who are unable to get on track could lose their jobs as part of the cuts, Reuters reports. Zuckerberg is expected to identify employee performance as the reasoning behind the layoffs. How about your freaking place sucks? Man, I'm not going to read any more of that story. How about your place sucks? How about you're flailing, trying to work? A 20-year-old was something at one point, kind of becoming null and void. Now, kids don't go on Facebook anymore. They go on TikTok and they go on Instagram. And they're probably not on Instagram nearly as much now as they're on TikTok. Because that's right, kids have a zero amount of attention span. So they want basically, literally stuff that fast. Just, just video after video after video after video after video after video after video. And they literally have like no ability to turn themselves away from it. Just, what the hell was that? Anyway, so they're locked in with this attention span of a flea looking at something tasty and then something else tasty, like, 6 inches away. Orange. Stop it. Somebody got squirted because he's being obnoxious. Patriot Fever. Translated, Hillary's HRT treatment needs a higher dose. Wow. So you scrolling. This one had me in tears. I could not do this one justice except for simply to say for what it was. And I got to read the whole thing. Now, if you guys have ever been in California and you've ever been to an area known as Muir Woods, the sequoias or redwoods or whatever those guys are, they are unbelievably tall trees. But anyway, what happened is that this person has gotten back, possibly one of the best cases of revenge ever. And it says, it's a little bit of a long read, but I'm going to go through it real quick here. I secretly planted a giant sequoia tree in my mayor's front yard. Hi, I'm an arborist. That means I'm a professional in cultivation, management, and study of trees. I love trees. I think that they're some of the most beautiful, majestic, ancient living beings on the planet. Today, I'm here to tell you the story of death, new life, and revenge. 3 years ago, the City Council of Redondo Beach, California, ordered the death of my 30-year-old pepper tree. Its roots had begun to penetrate the pavement in front of my house. The city noticed and issued a death warrant for my tree. They furthermore made me pay for the damages to the sidewalk and for the tree removal. I loved Clyde. I'm beginning to get older, and planting something I knew would live well beyond my lifetime was something very special. I took very good care of him. I drained his soil. I gave him a crutch to lean on when he was a young lad and watched him grow. Just as Clyde was becoming a strong, healthy individual, expanding his root system and developing a canopy and making his own way in life, the mayor took it upon himself to uproot my beautiful child. Mayor Stephen Aspel, you killed my child. For this, you will pay. 2 years and 7 months ago, I secretly planted, get this, 45 California redwoods and 82 giant sequoias in various parks, yards, and state properties around your city. Today, each of their root systems will be at least 30 feet in diameter and deeply embedded in the soil. You may have noticed the trees growing in front of the city council or that new one that sprouted up in your backyard. That's a giant sequoia, and its growth will be rapidly accelerating in the coming months. You killed Clyde, but I replaced him with over 100 living giants, and giant they will become. In a few years, they'll be breaking heights of 100 to 300 feet and live well beyond 2,500 years. That's way longer ago than Jesus was born. To remove even one of them at this point will cost well over $1,500, and I'm stiffing you with the bill, just like you did to me 3 years ago today. Good day to you, sir, and may your city be overrun by trees, and may Clyde rest in peace. That just tickled me, folks. I was reading that, and I'm like, I know how big those things are. They are absolute monsters, and they will literally take over the place. Just give me a second. I gotta scroll back down again. Hang on a second here. Scroll. I got a lot of news stories. I didn't think I'd have this fat a stack of stuff, but I do. Let's see. Scroll, 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 scrolly. Scroll, 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 scrolly. Scroll, 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 scrolly. Scrolly, scrolly, scrolly. I got a couple of them to touch on real quick here. I do actually have to touch on a famous person's passing. I mean, she was like 89, I think it was, but Nichelle Nichols, who played Uhura on the original Star Trek, passed. But I gotta toast to her. But to absent companions, that was one hot looking sister, man. And I can even remember being as a little kid looking at the TV, going, "Damn, that chick is smoking." I wish you well, ma'am. You gave us a lot of good entertainment. Scrolly. Liz Cheney had CNN. I don't know if she had CNN, but CNN went out and they were like, "So, what do you think of Liz Cheney?" And they were like, "We really truly think that she should be just getting the hell out of Dodge because we think she's a total piece of." No, sound guy. No, she's just.
You're despicable.
Yeah, they really truly do not like her at all, and truthfully, they think
You dick.
Well, no, that they probably think that about her dad, but it was like full on nepotism for him to hand down the job to her, and for her to just slither her way into office.
What? Uh-oh, retard alert. Retard alert, class.
All right, he's at it again. But it's been really funny because CNN walked around and they were talking, and they got like two people to be positive. Everybody else was lighting her ass up, and they were saying essentially that's not the Wyoming way. I cannot do the video justice, but man, they were raking her over the coals. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but Joe Kaka's got some concerns, obviously. Joe's knocked over by a triple whammy, crashes through the bottom, gets 3 concerning polls. And Gallup poll found that 38% of voters approve a job as the president, down 41% from last month. That's down 57% from back in January. According to July Pew survey, 55% of Asian Americans either strongly or somewhat disapprove of Biden's performance job, while 44% somewhere are strongly approved. I think those numbers are sketch. I don't think he's doing nearly as good. I did see this one, and this is one I would tell anybody on the Democrat Party that actually wants to stay in power. But it was really like a great quote from David Filoni. "Stop thinking of the dark side of some pathway to power." Or it's talking about Darth Vader of all things. "That's the Emperor lying to you. It's destructive. Darth Vader is miserable. He's lost everything. He has no one in his life, absolutely nothing until his son comes back and says, 'I love you.' Other than that, his life is a wreck. That's not the way to live your life. I see a lot of adoration. I get that the bad guys are cool, but they are evil. You really don't want to be like them." Classic. Speaking of anybody who's really suffering, greatly, right now, Democrat candidates are avoiding Biden like the plague. Oh man, let's see here. Stupid little pop-ups. Democrats are done with President Joe Kaka. He's managed to make himself so toxic that the party's congressional candidates want nothing to do with him. In fact, the Democrats running for various offices have gone to great lengths to make themselves unavailable when even the suggestion of the president coming to the state arises. Senator Raphael Warnock, Democrat Georgia, was locked in a battle for his Senate seat. Republican challenger Herschel Walker is attempting to distance himself from the president. This is happening as Walker's campaign is criticized for a Biden-Warnock agenda. And it goes downhill from there, man. People just see him as like Typhoid Mary, literally. This one coming in from RepublicanDaily.com. And one of the Republicans who voted for the impeachment of Donald Trump, and it's Peter Meijer, Meijer, is one of the few Republicans who risked his career to vote to impeach Trump. The Democrat Party is spending a meaningful amount of money to help his primary opponent, who they soon warned is an existing danger to democracy. So they said Trump was a danger to democracy, but they are now propping up my MAGA challenger. Dude, you are so hosed. You are hosed. The blue state max exodus is now accelerated. California lost more than 352,000 residents between April 2020 and January 2022, according to the California Department of Finance Statistics. I think it's even more than that. Already talked about that one, but probably that assault weapon ban they're sending up to the Senate, I think it's pretty much dead on arrival because, well, it won't bust the 60 vote threshold for the filibuster. It won't. It's almost 50-50 in the Senate, even with Kamala helping with her. I want to put my own 2 cents in there and help things out. And we do have secret audio what Kamala was doing one time when she was behind the lectern. Oh, jeez. What kind of a speech was that? Oh, jeez. Wow. Polls show Donald Trump is slated to be a perfect 4-0 in the state of Arizona, but he's set to dominate in a swing state. So, potentially Arizona could be what puts him over the top. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but hidden on page number 653 of the $433 billion climate bill, Democrats are throwing loads of money at electric school buses. And I have a related story that you guys might want to hear about. Thanks to Democrat Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia, Democrats may be able to fulfill 2 priorities in one bill. Switch to public transportation on electric stuff. Okay, if you have a grid that's on the ragged edge and you start plugging in a bunch of vehicles, the bloody damn thing's going to melt. In a related story, this electric bus thing, they had a bus, and it was in India. The thing was climbing a hill, and it all of a sudden it just ran out of gas, and everybody was like jumping out of there because the bus was about ready to roll down the hill backwards. And that's not a good time when you got something that ain't going to stop. Speaking of things rolling downhill that ain't going to stop, I have some good tidings to tell you. That's right. Let me find the appropriate sound effect here. Let's see. Let's see. Let me find the appropriate sound effect here.
Death by Snoo.
No, sound guy. No, it was not death by Snoo at all, okay? It was not death by Snoo. No, we are talking about, top Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri was killed in the U.S. drone strike, and ending the reign of the Osama bin Laden successor and fellow September 11th plotter, and marking the most significant U.S. counter-terror operation since the 2019 slaying of the ISIS commander Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. President Biden confirmed al-Zawahiri's death during an evening address. He declared justice has been delivered and his terrorist leader is no more. Are you done? What are you even doing, dude? Now we make it clear today, no matter how long it takes, no matter where you hide, if you're a threat to our people, the United States will find you and take you out, Biden said. Okay, first off, Biden, with all the tough talk, you didn't do it. Our guys have been hunting his ass for the last 20 blanking years. Finally did. I'm not going to get into this too much, but Joe Manchin was on an interview on Fox News, and let's just say he didn't have too many good answers when he was asked questions about why he was voting for the things he was voting for. Ouch. Just ouch. You guys are going to have to find this one on your own. I really don't know if I want to try to put the link in the room, but if you guys follow some of my absolute favorite weapon, what was this? The What Would Stoner Do project and the Forgotten Weapons guys, and just all that good stuff. But it's now come out that one of the guys I actually interviewed back in the day, who had the successor to the Cavalry Arms lowers, the company name was GWAX Armory LLC. From what I understand, as a legal entity, they don't occupy the former building that they did. It has been a non-existent entity for the longest time, and they have not been making polymer AR-15 lowers for a long time. So there's been another company that actually picked up the reins, and that company was known as, or is known currently as, KE Arms. So I read Kilo Echo Arms. Also, Brownells was involved, and everybody basically started getting involved with this What Would Stoner Do project. And I actually have 2 of the KE lowers, and they are nice. I actually also have 2 of the Cavalry Arms lowers. So the first generation items, and then like the 3rd generation down, I have those as well. I have no GWAX lowers, and to tell you the truth, considering all the stuff going on now, I don't think I want any. But anyway, what's going on is GWAX is currently suing KE Arms. I don't know if they're suing Brownells, but there's a bunch of other guys involved. And so what's going on is essentially the intellectual property on the design has never been expressed. It's been a non-patented item. There's been no trademarks on it whatsoever. And GWAX is now, after the fact, trying to sue KE Arms because a lot of people bought into this, What Would Stoner Do project, and they were like, oh, these things are badass. And I can tell you for a fact, I still have yet to assemble mine. I got most of the parts, but yes, they are that good. Basically what it is you have a weapon system that is made with modern technology, modern stuff, and it is light, it's effective, it does the job, and some of the parts are not cheap. Excuse me one second here. The lowers themselves are not expensive. The components to make the thing actually a What Would Stoner Do project is blanking painful in some aspects. The Fagan barrel that they use is, there's nothing really crazy about it. It's just a pencil barrel. So it's a light 16-inch barrel, really, really thin profile. Makes it a very, very light tube, but still good technology. The problem is it has a carbon fiber forend that is that is like, ow, in terms of the process of the purchase. But you only cry once when you buy quality. Patriot Fever, at least it wasn't a chimp. Oh, jeez. So anyway, what's going on is this guy who was previously involved with GWAX is actually suing those guys. The thing about it is the political contributions and the legal backing, what they're referred to as the angel investor, is a guy by the name of Reed Oppenheimer. Reed Oppenheimer really doesn't like guns. So why is he putting money in to try to screw with the process? We think in some uncertain way that he thinks he's going to get away with it is he thinks he's going to
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
I don't know about he has one of those, but I can say for a fact, dude is playing his games to try to insert himself and try to screw the process of people obtaining AR-15s. Okay, so anyway, that's where we are with that one. And there's I've got all kinds of links on my Facebook involved with this one. And there's actually a really, really good video on inrange.com / the InRange channel on YouTube, where he goes into great detail with it. And all these guys have been involved with this process. Excuse me. There's obviously KE Arms and Brownells, and there's another gentleman by the name of Russell Fagan, who's known as Sinistral Rifleman. And this guy, he was around from the origination of the Cavalry Arms lowers. This guy's seen these things, shot the hell out of these things, and he literally was involved from like nuts to butts of this whole thing, and he's kind of like right in the middle of it, and he's like, what the hell? It was not like intellectual property. It was never patented. It was never trademarked. It was wide open. If anybody wanted to see the design, if they wanted to try to copy and make it on their own, there was never, ever, ever any locked-in intent saying this is owned only by these guys and I'm handing it off to these guys. As a matter of fact, what happened is that the original guy actually got in trouble for doing some handshake thing, and the BHF shut down Cavalry Arms. He sold all the tooling and everything else off to G-Wax, and then G-Wax was making them for a while, and then obviously what happens is anytime you're doing any kind of molding, there is a lifespan, and the dies are ridiculously expensive. You're talking two halves that mate together, and they're absolutely perfectly mated, and they're like a couple $100,000, and they're good for X amount of times before they wear out. And that's literally what happens is the stuff wears out. They couldn't make them anymore because it was too worn out. And some years later, KE Arms, in their infinite wisdom, reoriginated a not even classic design of theirs, but came up with something that, well, obviously looks very similar on the outside because it has to be, an AR-15 monolithic lower, but it's not like they really, G-Wax really truly doesn't have dead to rights, we own this thing outright. Because if you want to go hardcore, of all people, Colt Firearms was making a polymer lower way back when that really truly, unfortunately, didn't work so good because the technology hadn't caught up with the idea, which is usually what happens. Somebody comes up with something really, really cool, and it's like, you know what? This is going to need about another 20 to 30 years before it's going to be applicable because we don't have the stuff to make it work right now. That happens a lot, folks. So anyway, this whole lawsuit thing is now ongoing. I really don't think that, that G-Wax is going to win this one because they're positing the notion that they are the guys who had it outright and somebody's stealing their idea. Not the case at all. But it is, going to court and anything can have happen. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but supposedly, great stretch. Never would have thought this one would have happened, but oh my, another Hollywood guy is really, really a screaming Mimiite liberal. Yeah. Kevin Costner has now come out saying that, well, he's really, really woke, and he's upset by backing the January 6th star of Liz Cheney. I got to tell you, folks, I was never a fan of this guy to begin with. I always thought he was basically just an actor, and not really oh, this guy's amazing, I have to back him, so, not that kind of a situation. And he's an actor, okay? What does he really, really, really tend to do? He pretends to be somebody else for money and profit. Not impressed. All right, folks, so we're coming up on the 10 o'clock, 10 after 10 time period, so let's see if I have any other news stories jumping out at me. Is there anything else? No, I think that's pretty much it. So I think it's pretty much bye-bye time. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and good stuff like that there. I know you got many other things to do, but you decide to hang out with me, and I truly appreciate your kind attentions. You get a gold star for attendance, okay? Right off the bat. You guys hung out with me on a Tuesday. I truly appreciate your kind attention. I'll probably do this again next week. I think I got another video of me somewhere. Possibly. I don't know. I have to do something else, but I appreciate your kind attention. You guys breaking off with me, and I'll break off with you. And eat good, keep the tendering as always. You know you love it. And I will catch you guys later. Have a good week. Good stuff like that there. And I will see you guys later. Catch you guys. See ya.